What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, just as quick as we got a Lonzo Ball update that seemed relatively optimistic, we get another Lonzo Ball update that seems a little bit more disappointing and very unfortunate, and it does look like there's been some bad news coming around about Lonzo Ball as well. So we'll talk about that news, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll talk about what it means for the Chicago Bulls and the future heading into a very important training camp and preseason. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about what you think about Lonzo Ball potentially missing training camp and unlikely to start the regular season, compared to the news a couple days ago that showed that there was a little bit more optimism about Lonzo Ball and his recovery from that injury. This is coming based off that injury that happened all the way back in January, the surgery, the couple months off that he took. He missed the end of the regular season, he missed a lot of the offseason trying to recover, and now it looks like the big news is he will be missing training camp and he's not expected to be starting for the Chicago Bulls at the start of the regular season. Very, very unfortunate news that's been happening around Lonzo Ball. And I've always stuck true to my word in saying I would absolutely love Lonzo Ball to start the Chicago Bulls or start for the Chicago Bulls this regular season. I want him to be available for that game against the Miami Heat. And although there's still faith and hope that that can happen, this news and the fact that he's missing training camp does bring a lot less of that optimism that I probably had in that last video. So incredibly upsetting to see for Lonzo Ball. And there's been a lot of misinformation that's been put out about Lonzo Ball as well, which is also very frustrating. But now we got to focus on what's ahead. Most likely we're going to be starting the season without Lonzo Ball, and the Chicago Bulls need to be ready for this. So what I plan to see next, what I hope to see next from the Chicago Bulls, is them preparing to give the minutes to the appropriate players that's going to be in that point guard position. We need to focus on who's going to be starting in that point guard position. We need to focus about who's going to be getting the most minutes in that point guard position as well. This is the next step for the Chicago Bulls. We simply cannot see a situation where Lonzo Ball was out for January and the Bulls had a very rough February and March period where we lost a lot of games. We simply just cannot see that at the beginning of this season. The start of the season and the end of the season are very important. The confidence that you can gain from having a good start to the season is immeasurable in my opinion. So we need to make sure that we're very well prepared, we're fit, we're ready to play by the time Miami Heat comes around. And although Lonzo Ball may not be part of those plans, we know Lonzo Ball is going to be coming back. So we need to make do with what we have at the moment. So I will be making most likely a second video talking about who I think should start for the Chicago Bulls and the minutes that everybody should get at that point guard position. But it's an extremely interesting time for the Bulls right now. Training camp is very important. Preseason is very important. This is the time where you formulate your chemistry. This is the time when you formulate your game plan, the way that you want to play heading into next season. And I hope that Lonzo Ball will at least be there to support the team, even if he's still recovering. But even if he isn't, it's going to be a very interesting time for the Bulls to work around him at the moment, and hope that Lonzo Ball will be back very early, which I still feel optimistic about. But the start of the season, very, very important for the Chicago Bulls. And I'm excited to see where we can still go. With or without Lonzo Ball, we have to collect ourselves as a team, and we've got to be ready. And I'm looking forward to see whether we could be ready or not. That's really all we need to say in relation to Lonzo Ball at the moment. In all honesty, there's not too much else to talk about. Listen, I would love Lonzo Ball to start, as I've said countless times, but you just got to be ready. You got to anticipate these things. You got to have a game plan ready, knowing that Lonzo Ball at least had a chance of not being ready for the Chicago Bulls at the start of the season. Miami's going to be a very important game. We've got a very hard early period. We've got a lot of back-to-backs. We're versing a lot of good competition teams as well. It's not going to be an easy ride. So I hope the Bulls have some sort of game plan ready. And training camp will be the time to execute it, and preseason will give us time to practice it as well. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry if this is not the video that you wanted to hear. It is a little bit of a shorter video as well, but simply put, the news has been put out. You got to talk about the news, positive or negative, frustrating or optimistic. It does come with its fair share, and unfortunately it's not all positive for the Bulls, but it's also not all negative as well. We do have some depth in that point guard position now with the addition of Goran Dragic. Ayo Dosunmu as well potentially could be a very good point guard for the Chicago Bulls as well, given the right opportunities. And then you've got other guys like Alex Caruso, we know could do very well in that point guard position from time to time. Maybe you can get to see a guy like Dalen Terry get a little bit of responsibility in that position, stuff like that. We've got a little bit more depth in that position than what we had last year, so hopefully we won't see the downside compared to last year as well. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.